What if I told you that reality, well, it isn't what it seems? Get ready, because we're about to dive into some hard scientific facts that sound way more like science fiction. And trust me, they're going to challenge pretty much everything you think you know about the world and even yourself. So let's start with a big one. I want you to really think about this. Right now, this very second. Are you sure you're in the present moment? The answer feels like a total no-brainer, right? Of course you are. But what if I told you science says you're not? That everything you're seeing and hearing as now has actually already happened? See, it all comes down to processing speed, your brain's processing speed. It takes about 80 milliseconds for your brain to actually figure out what your eyes are seeing. It's not much, but it means you're constantly living a tiny fraction of a second in the past. Your brain is basically running on a delay, making these lightning-fast predictions just to keep up with what's happening right in front of you. And believe me, that's just the beginning. We're going to start our journey into these hidden realities by scaling way, way down. Not out into the cosmos, not yet, but into the absolutely astonishing universe that's contained right inside your own body. Think about this. Every single cell in your body has a blueprint inside of it, this incredible code. And when you add it all up, it is astronomically long. But, how long are we really talking about here? The number is just, well, it's insane. If you could somehow unravel all the DNA from every cell in your body and lay it end to end, it would stretch out for 67 billion miles. That's a distance so massive, it's almost impossible to even picture. To try and put that into perspective, that genetic code, the very stuff that makes you, could stretch all the way to Pluto and back again. Not just once, but over 150 times. All of that is packed inside of you, right this second. Mind-blowing, right? And the wonders inside us don't stop there. Not by a long shot. Here's another little fact about your body that might just surprise you. You are, at this very moment, actually emitting light. Yup, it's true. We humans are technically bioluminescent. We glow. Now, the only catch is the light we produce is about 1,000 times too weak for our own eyes to see it. So yeah, you are literally a walking, talking, very, very dim light bulb. Okay, so from the universe within us, let's zoom out a bit. Let's explore some of the seriously perspective-shifting secrets of this incredible planet we call home. We often look up at the night sky completely in awe of the billions of stars. But get this, compare that number to what we've got right here on the ground. Earth is home to roughly 3 trillion trees. That number just completely dwarfs the number of stars in our own galaxy. And that really reframes our whole perspective, doesn't it? We tend to think of Earth as just a rock with a little bit of life on it. But the reality is, we live on a world of forests. A deeply, profoundly living planet with incredible biological density. Speaking of incredible life, let's talk about one of Earth's most, alien-like creatures, the octopus. And the most shocking thing about them? They have 9 brains. Yes, you heard that right, 9. Here's how it works. An octopus has one central brain for the big picture stuff, but then each of its 8 arms has its own mini brain that can think, taste, and act all on its own. Combine that with 3 hearts and blue blood, and you've basically got a creature from another planet living right here in our oceans. So while life is evolving into all these strange and wonderful forms, some things on our planet seem almost eternal. They just defy time and decay. And one of those things is honey. This is just absolutely incredible. Archaeologists have literally found pots of honey in ancient Egyptian tombs that are thousands of years old, and it's still perfectly safe to eat. Its unique chemical makeup, super low moisture, really high acidity, makes it impossible for bacteria to survive in it. It literally never goes bad. All right, time for our final leap. We've seen the universe inside us and the wonders on our own planet. Now, let's journey out into the cosmos, where the laws of physics create some realities that are truly, truly mind-bending. So let's start with our next-door neighbor, Venus. Time works a little differently over there. It actually takes Venus longer to spin just once on its axis, that's a single day, than it does for it to go all the way around the sun, its year. Let that sink in for a second. A day on Venus is longer than a year on Venus. But if you think that's strange, Let's talk about density. Let's talk about the absolute most extreme, heaviest objects we know of, neutron stars. I want you to try and imagine a substance so incredibly dense that just a tiny bit of it weighs 6 billion tons. That is more than the weight of every single person on Earth, all combined. And all of that unbelievable weight is packed into a space the size of a single teaspoon. To even try to grasp that scale, think about this. One little teaspoon of that neutron star stuff would outweigh the Great Pyramid of Giza by about 900 times. The density is it's almost beyond human comprehension. So, after this whole journey, what does it all mean? We've seen that we're all living in the past, that we have cosmic distances coiled up inside our cells, and that the universe is filled with things of impossible weight. It's pretty clear our reality is so much stranger than it looks on the surface. And as a final thought, just consider something as simple as water. We see it as a liquid, a solid, or a gas. Easy. But at a very specific temperature and pressure, what's called its triple point, it can be all three at the exact same time. It's a perfect example of a hidden reality where the rules we always take for granted suddenly shift, and they reveal a state of being we never even thought was possible. The world is absolutely not what it seems. From the atoms in your body to the stars in the sky, there are these layers and layers of reality hidden in plain sight, just waiting for us to discover them. Which really leaves us with one last fascinating question to think about.